Hello, me lovelies. I see all my lovely mods are here. Cindy, Jalees, Kelsey. Lovely. So, this is going to be about drama. Then we'll have a little quiz and I'll explain what I've got. If you can see the scroll and banner at the bottom, what that's all about. Because Lon Harries is not very well at the moment and needs cheering up. She really, really does. So, how's everyone doing? How's all my lovely mods doing? And never mind Julie, Cindy, not again. Just start answering my questions. How are you all doing? Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Oh, good, that's all right. Are you Maud? Are you Cindy? Are you Jason? So, how are you all, babe? I haven't seen you for a while. Welcome back. Just, if you can hear any voices, it's because I've got the window open. It's just a bit too stuffy in here without the window open, so that it won't bother you, will it? So anyway, yeah, what's been happening? All sorts has been happening, hasn't it? All sorts again. We've got the man that keeps on giving material, Decker, who in my mind is just getting more and more sickening. He is the further it goes on, and other little bits and pieces around YouTube as well. And Mr. Pop-Up in the shed, the man in the shed, is yet again going on about this. Send SAR subject access requests to his solicitor and still not giving the name or contact details of this solicitor. It's just getting boring now. Absolutely boring. Oh, Julies, I know what you mean about Decker. Well, you see, this is what I warned, and I have to lay fault here at people who are challenging him. That's why I won't go on the show. You go on and start feeding that drama. He's going to get it. That's what happened. Look, that's what happened with not the cesspit, was it? Snake pit, wasn't it? The snake pit, then exposure. Once they became these hives of I have unblocked positive vibes, Cindy. I've unblocked them. I was talking to them last week in my chat. It can be an absolute hive of, drama, and that's what gets them the views. Lasts for so long, then it starts bouncing out and they don't get so many views because someone else comes alongside. So this is good, I'll do this. But they shouldn't have gone on and given them the drama, and Humble shouldn't be doing it like that. I told him months ago you'd actually creating interest in him by the way it's going on. Video Craig is as well with the comedy routines. It's not actually doing it, but Craig's honest about it. He's just using them for clicks. He doesn't try to hide it. Joe Kidd's been on there. Others have been on there. Well, of course, he's loving this. He's loving all this. This is bringing attention to his channel. And so that's why he's doing this now, because he knows he can get all the drama on there. Oh, yeah, Pop-Up. He's just in the same thing. Christ, do you know what that's supposed to be? What did Ellis say? He described him as being the UK's most feared gangster. Pop-Up? Are you kidding me? I didn't even know who he was until I came onto YouTube and suddenly noticed him. Didn't know who he was, never heard of him. That's how big a gangster he is. I think vast majority of people you ask who he is, they won't know. He's certainly not one of the craze, is he? But anyway, to explain away what I mean by this, at the bottom, Lauren Harries. Now, that's my email address. Lauren, I've interviewed her. You'll see one of my interviews. Now, Lauren has had an absolutely extraordinary life. Extraordinary. When she was 10 and she was a male, she became famous as a so-called, I don't know what to say, an antiques prodigy, and was striking to look at. You couldn't miss her. Blonde curly hair, white curly hair, dicky bow and all this, just really was a unique character and got lots of attention. Then as she grew up, and she got lots of bullying back then, as she grew up, she realised she had to go through reassignment, so she did. And she got more bullying. Then she went on to see Celebrity Big Brother. Well, she's been ill. When you hear her on my interview I did, if you go back, it was late last year I did an interview with her. She wasn't feeling well at all. She just got out of hospital. They didn't know what's wrong with her. Well, it's got serious because she's got something wrong with the brain that doctors just can't work out. It's a total mystery what it is. And she's in hospital. So I'm arranging for some flowers to be sent down to her. Now, why I've given my email address, if anyone wants to write a little letter and photocopy it, of, photograph it, that I can use it, download it, or even if you just want to type a messages of support and, hoping that she gets well in recovery, because she has had one hell of a life. And I say the bullying she had to endure is unbelievable. And she's a survivor. She just gets on with it. Imagine as a 10-year-old having that constant bullying going on all through your life. And then it carries on. So, but she well, I'd say she's a survivor. That's what it called. Actually, if you look at the interview I did with her, I said a born survivor. And that's exactly what she is, a born survivor. She'll survive this. But if anyone wants to send any, if people don't know who Lauren is, just put in Lauren Harries and you'll get all the information on it. Just reading there. Are you Johnny? Are you John? Are you having a laugh? Are you Miss Adams? But yeah, so hopefully to find out, because this is what's worrying. They can't find out what's wrong with her. If they could find out what's wrong, then it would be okay. But it's like she's been moved again from the hospital she was at, because they literally can't find out what's wrong with her. Which is, I think I'd be absolutely terrified if that was me. It's better to know what's wrong, isn't it? And know what the prospects are. But anyway, any more drama or anything like that? Anyone? Do you want me to do it? Well, what I'll do the quiz now, right? Then if anyone wants to jump on for a chat, please feel free. We can have a little chat. But in the meantime, I'm going to be really strict with people now, because my last live I did, I had to go in and edit it. And this is so annoying about YouTube. Honest to God, they say that they try to make things easy for creators. No, they don't. I went into editing. Now, in the past, you just edit out what you wanted to and save it, and it was still there. Oh, no, not now. Not now. What you've got to do is turn around and, do you know what? Think Paddy has more soccer accounts, well, pop up. Well, I suppose he has to if he's going into the dark web downloading strange images. He has to have those soccer accounts. But anyway, let's get on to it. What was I saying? I was distracted by Paddy's soccer account. What was I saying? You lot in the chat better know what I was saying, or I'm going to take one hell of a huff. What was I saying? Come on, you better all know what I was saying, paying attention. Oh, thank you. Thank you. No one's bleeding. I thought you hung on every word I spoke. Obviously not. Obviously not. Yes, what I'll do, I'll put the link out after I've done the quiz. Oh, yeah, I was saying about Ed and Kelsey. Thank you. See, Kelsey's listening. Kelsey's listening to me. Yeah, you used to be able to edit it right. And then all that you'd have to do is having a laugh, get that off. This is what I'm going to have to be strict about. This is what's causing the problem. Take that remark out. You can't use terms like that. I know what you mean, you're not being nasty, but if you put that in there, words like that or phrases like that, the video goes for it, the algorithm. But anyway, I tried to get it edited to get the bits out because Moser didn't know, but he was saying a couple of things that I knew. I thought, I'm going to get in trouble here by what he's turned around and said. So I tried to get it. Oh, I know you didn't have a laugh. That's why I've just been saying you have to be really careful. Now, in the past, you could just do that save and it would still be there. Oh, no, not now. Now you've got to save it as a copy. So the original one you have to delete with all its views and everything has to go. Now, this is YouTube, who likes to work with creators to make it better for them, listens to creators. So I'd love to know what creators went and said, look, when I edit a YouTube video, I want that when I do that to wipe out all my views I've had on it previously and start afresh. No one's going to say that. No one's going to say that. But anyway, let's get on with the quiz. So hope you're all equally sitting there. Then we'll open the lines. That's what you say, don't you? Open the phone lines. Here, our first one. What is the capital of Poland? What is the capital of Poland? Have you made? Yeah, you're all getting it. Warsaw, so that's there. Here we are. This is a bit more difficult. This. Which sea separates Europe from Africa? So, which sea separates Europe from Africa? Yeah, Ram, that's it. The Mediterranean. The Mediterranean Sea separates Europe from Africa. Well, what is the Japanese drink sake made from? Oh, wait, well, you'll all know that. You'll all know us. What is the Japanese drink sake made from? Or sake? Yeah, Maud, the first one got it. Oh, no, wait a minute, no, a few got it. Sorry. Emma, you were the first one to get a win. Yeah, rice. Horrible stuff, isn't it? You drink it warm. Here we are. All about Japan again. What celestial body is on the Japanese flag? What celestial body is on the Japanese flag? No, not the Buddha. Here we are, Kelsey, Jason, got it. The sun, the rising sun. Here we go. Here's one for all you lovers of the theatre. You better get this one right, Johnny. Which of Shakespeare's plays is the longest? Which of Shakespeare's plays is the longest? That's it, Cindy. The Hamlet is the longest one, and John, you got one. Shani got it. Jason got it. Kelsey, you said my favourite, The Tempest. That's his last one. I love The Tempest. That's my favourite by him. Is poetic. The way he worded it was just at its height when he did that play, The Tempest. Here we are. What pop? You better get this right, Cindy, with all your pop music. What pop singer's real name is Katie Hudson? What pop singer's real name is Katie Hudson? That's it. Emma, having a laugh. Katy Perry. Katy Perry is the name. It's a stage name. Well, what is the densest planet in the solar system? In our solar system, which is basically the heaviest planet. And you can't include the sun. Nope. Not Jupiter, not Mars. Remember, Jupiter is the gas giant. It could float on water, couldn't it? Jason, they are the Earth. We're the densest planet in the solar system. Don't forget the gas giants. You could float if you had an ocean big enough. They'd float on it. Here we are. Keeping on about the Earth. Well, yeah, the Earth. What is the Greek name of the Earth goddess? The Greeks gave the Earth a name and proclaimed it to be a goddess. What was the name? No, not Hera. The Greek name of the Earth goddess. The goddess of the Earth. Or the Earth as a god. Gaia. That's it, more baby. Gaia. Now, not many more to go. In C.S. Lewis's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, what was the real life Alice's full name? Because it was based on a true little girl. What was her full name? So what was the real name of Alice from Alice in Wonderland, the real girl? That's a bit of a hard one, isn't it, if you've never been interested in it? Here we are. Do you want to give you a Alice Liddell, or Liddle, as I say. Alice Liddell was the real little girl who was inspired Alice in Wonderland. And here we are, another children's story. In the Wonderful Wizard of Oz book, what colour were Dorothy's slippers? So in the book, what colour were Dorothy's slippers? Nope. Not green, not red, not blue. Not pink. People get a shock when they read the book because the book is nothing like the film. Here we are, Cindy. Cindy's got it. Silver. She actually wore silver coloured slippers in the book. And when you read it, the witch is in it you blink your eye and you miss the bit in the book where the witch is. Well, this is another one that Cindy, you better get this. You better get this. Which ABBA song did Madonna borrow from for Hung Up? Which ABBA song did Madonna borrow from for Hung Up? No, not that's not good. Yeah, we are. Give me a man after midnight. That's where she got it from. Hey, well, going on about ABBA. What does the name ABBA actually mean? What does ABBA mean? And it's in the Bible as well. I think it's in the Quran as well. That's it, Titania. Father. It means father. Here we are. Here we are. Which film? Oh, I love this film as well. I remember going to see it when it was first released. That's how old I am. What 70s film had the tagline, "In space, no one can hear you scream"? In space, no one can hear you scream. That's it, Emma. The good old days when going to you don't have to put it in timeouts. Oh, Julie's, what have I done? Oh, Julie's, I'm going to kill you having a laugh. That's it. You were in my bad books. Julie's, what have I done? I've gone and bleeding done the wrong one. Pressed the wrong button. Oh, how do I get this back? Wait a minute. I've gone and bleeding. That was your fault. Freaking put docs and addresses. I don't care who it is. You don't doc someone's address. How the hell do I do this now? Oh, wait. Gillies, if you can. I don't know. Wait a minute. I'll have to go and undo that. Just give us a second, people. Having a laugh. This is your doing, you sod. I had to try to time it out for what you did. And then you go and I pressed the wrong one. Let's see. But any of the mods, if you see anyone putting addresses up there, make sure you get rid of it straight away. Because that's not, I don't care who it is, you don't go docs and addresses. But give me a second, people. Oh, this is going to take ages. Let's do us a favour, Cindy. Can you put Julisa's channel in? Can you put Julisa's channel in the live chat for me? I'll have to get it from there. She's still a moderator, according to my to what I'm looking at, but I need to get hold of her channel, and it's going to take ages to find it because Julie's is not an unusual name to see on YouTube. So if you could get a channel name for me. Sorry about this, people. See, suddenly something came up, shot up, and Jalise must have been right under it because his head had said. And I wasn't even trying to ban having a lap, it was just putting it into our mouth to get rid of the cold. Come on, Cindy, get a bleed move on it, you mate. You should be able to get a channel name dead easily. It's taking forever. Ugh. This isn't going out, but she'll have to stay blocked until I come out of it because I don't know how to find it because I'm not getting in there. See, if I can even click on it and I can't find it. No, it's not finished. I don't know. I'm waiting for Cindy to get Jalee's. Here we are. If you got it, there we go. So it's 3:08 now. Talk amongst yourself for a bit. Well, you're still here, Jalise. Oh, God. Do you know what I think's happened? She's blocked from this. Gosh, I won't be able to get her back. She's going to be blocked. This is what I mean. People have to be careful what they say. I can't get her back now. She's still, she's not blocked when I look into her account, so it hasn't blocked her there. It just blocked her on this live chat, so I can't, and I don't know how the hell you undo it. Oh, good. I feel. Oh, you're here. How the hell did you get back? Oh, it's magic. It's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. Witchcraft. Strange witchcraft. It is. Anyway, so where was I up to? Where was I up to, my people? Where was I up to? Didn't get to do all my things. Did every quiz. Right. Yeah, here we go. This is the last question. Which horror film by Todd Browning, was banned for 31 years? Which horror film by Todd Browning, which is a cult film now, was banned for 31 years? It was only re-released in the 60s because it was considered that horrifying. I think it's the longest banned film ever, isn't it? That's it, isn't That's it. Spooky Mod Freaks, which if you've never seen, it's one of those films you've got to see before you die. And it wasn't actually intended to be a horror film, but people just couldn't handle it at the time. Because if you actually watch it, it's compassionate towards the what I term freaks in the film. Very compassionate towards them. So it's amazing. So that's all done. I'll put the link out for anyone wants to come on for a quick jokey, but don't forget, no messing about. If anyone wants to come for a chat. Oh, it's all right. I know you didn't think you were doing anything wrong, but I don't like that even when people do that, because it's been done to me. I'm feeling wee man. You having a laugh? Can you just wave or something? I don't trust you, David. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Ah, yeah. Hello.
You're right, chick. And first of all, I'd like to say sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't know the rules,
Yeah.
and I don't know the rules of YouTube. So genuinely apologise for that, honestly, Bab. I didn't mean it.
Oh no, it's just certain little things. It's like what people
Yeah, but on Cindy's channel, anything goes. I just don't
look.
know the rules, Babby. I really apologise, and I do
Well,
mean that.
look, Cindy's just loose, and we know it. She's very loose, and you know,
Wow, yeah, well, that's another story.
she needs training because I saw.
I just wanted to apologise because I didn't mean it from the bottom of my heart. Any of them.
Thank you for that. That's why you weren't blocked, you see. And you'd made a mistake there. Thought, oh, he's made a mistake. So,
but when you called rules out, it did make me laugh.
I know you did that, and she must have been just right. But I don't know if she's got back on. She's infiltrated me. I don't know.
Next time, I'll look. You've told me the rules. I'll stick by them. I didn't mean it.
See, what it is with YouTube as well, and people do get confused about this. Certain words you have to, and it's stupid words. I was saying this to yours on yours.
I thought it was funny. That's all I was trying to be, Anne. It weren't being. You get what I mean?
Yeah, but
you can't do it, obviously.
Well, if what it is, it's more, the more worrying thing is certain terms that you know where you put the child, blah blah blah, that word. It will look for something like that and grab us. Another one.
I'm far more advanced than what I'm thinking, though, Babby. You get what I mean?
Yeah, you have to sort it. That's why people use code words. They put
I am one of them that just says it how I feel. I didn't get what I mean. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know the rules, Babby. You get what I mean?
Yep.
But I fully appreciate where you're coming from because it messes. See, I didn't even swear there, my lady. It messes up the algorithm for you.
Yeah, it just they go after it. They just go after it. And
right, I've got one genuine question for you, though, Babby.
What was that? Sorry.
I've got one genuine question for you.
Yeah, go on.
Did you honestly work with the police? Is that where your background was?
Yeah.
Yeah? 100%. Right. Will you name me one part of the government that is working properly?
How could I tell you that?
You're proud of?
I don't know. I mean, how would I know that? Well, they don't work properly.
From your point of view, do you get what I mean? From your point of view, are they helping us? Are they doing anything for us?
Well, I think this is the thing, right? Yeah, they can be hopeless, but when you look at other countries, I think we're well provided for. This
man, we've got a great country. It's one of the beautiful little islands in the middle of the dot of the world that's insignificant, tiny, but everyone wants to be here.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
But that's why you can say to yourself, are we really in a bad place here? No, we're not. I can remember, this is it. I'm old enough to remember the 70s when it was. Things could be tough and rough. And when I hear people now.
But I think 1945 was a bit rougher.
Yeah, it's always been rough, but people don't know now. Yeah, people do. Relative terms. See,
I think we've got soft, Dan.
Wait a minute, just let me finish the sentence.
Sorry.
You have to understand now. Jockney will know what I'm talking about here. It's all relative. You see, what people call doing without or they complain about now, Jockney, we wouldn't complain about because to us it's not anything serious. We were used to worse than that happening. But it's all what you used to, because when you see someone, and this is what gets me, and they're sitting in the smoke and the weed or whatever, and they're off the faces, and they're on benefits, and they're moaning. It's like, look, if you were on benefits in the 70s...
that one. I'll smoke weed, but that doesn't make you a bad person.
Doesn't make you a bad person, but if you're moaning about the benefit system, if you're on benefits, it's like it go back to the 70s and you wouldn't have been able to. You'd been struggling to get food.
Listen, I've got no children yet, and I'm one of them people that think if you've had kids, that's yours to deal with. Stop moaning about life. Deal with your own lives. And I'm with you. You get what I mean? That's what it's become soft.
Yeah.
Which it has to me. I feel it's become soft. Yeah. People moan and bitting. The problem is, Anne, how do you, when people with mental, like say mental health, the prime example, that bloke, yeah, right? When you've got someone like that can stand on there with a platform to thousands, lying, right? It discredits the people that are genuinely suffering.
Yeah, it does. But he's getting away with it. That's it. People let him get away with it.
And that's what annoys me, man. There's people, why should people like me, you, humble, people who ain't employed to do this stuff, when there's people on 50 grand a year, 70 grand a year, that should be dealing with that? You get what I mean?
Yeah. But at
That's what annoys me, Anne.
But at the same time, they'll turn around and say, if they jump in there and start trying to control people, then they'll get absolutely hammered. But they do control people. It's what they control people over. But when it comes to the internet, the government really struggles. For one reason, the internet's global. So you can ban it in one country, but in another country, you'll still be able to see all the stuff.
No. It's not about banning, Anne. You're from the police force, yeah? Right?
Was, yeah.
Was, yeah? So just imagine, right, you've got somebody, a certain XY human, yeah, that is online, refusing to go and answer justice from 2021, blagging every government department from the DWP, the CPS, the NHS, and between all them, there's £1 million a year in wages that should be dealing with that man. And nothing happens, and it's left to people who shouldn't be involved in it to deal with. That's, what I mean, Anne?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So
but
I
haven't got a clip. That's the way the system works. That's the way it goes on.
Well, it's not broken, Anne. It's smashed in Britain at the minute.
Well, this is it. This is what I'm saying to you, right? We've got a lot of things going on that are just stupid. And you say to yourself, you can't see how they can ever let's say, the boats coming in. I mean,
don't get me going on that one, Bobby.
I know, but it's just out of control. So you think they haven't got control of the borders, they haven't got control of anything.
£7 million a day.
Yeah. So what you do, it's not working, but at the same time, but how long it will last, I don't know. And this is what people have got to be careful of. It's going to change at some point.
It's not
today. We're much better off than we were. What was that?
It's not broken. It's smashed to pieces. And it's horrific to see.
But I tell you now, it was worse. It was worse in the 70s. Believe me, it was much worse. It was much worse. Can you imagine, right? Here we are, Johnny, back me up on this. Not being able to bury your dead. Your dead piling up. That's what we had. We had
through what period you're on about, though?
The 70s. It was
what was it?
And do you know who did that?
And I was born in 83, so
I'll tell you who did it, the unions. And everyone goes on about how wonderful unions are. No, the unions wrecked this country, and they opened the doorway to Thatcher. They opened the doorway to her because she was the one that said, we've got to get control of this. They had the country absolutely on its knees. That's the way when people go on about unions now, I always have to bite my lip because I can remember dead people not getting married. I can remember bins not getting emptied. I can remember children being left in homes on their own after the parents had passed away.
That's
disgusting, absolutely horrendous.
You're on about like the miners period or before that?
Well, the miners was after that. That would have been Thatcher, the miners.
Yeah.
She went all out.
We ain't had it good for years, have we? We ain't had it good since we buried Winston Churchill in Blenheim.
Well, he wasn't. It was no good. He was one of the way. Do you know Winston Churchill?
He was horrible.
Winston Churchill in peacetime was one of the worst prime ministers ever in England. That's why they kicked him out after the war. He was a brilliant prime minister during wartime, he was the best you could get, and we were blessed during
But he
the
couldn't run
wartime.
a country.
But peacetime, he was off. He didn't have a clue, so that's why they kicked him out in peacetime.
Do you
But
remember the V2 rocket, Anne?
What was that? Sorry.
Do you remember the V2 rocket, the first ballistic rocket? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you know who built it?
I haven't got a clue.
Do you know that's the same man that got that famous quote, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind"? Well, the same bloke that built the Saturn V, SS Major Werner von Braun, was the bloke that bombed living in London.
Mm.
You get what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a phrase, you know, like, he was the first one. He built the V2 rocket, yeah?
Yeah.
And he's the one that put America on the moon.
Mm.
Did you know that, Bobby?
I didn't know. No, I didn't know.
Amazing. But you go and look into Operation Paperclip, Anne, you'll be amazed. The same bloke, the first bloke that built the liquid fuel rocket, the V2, Werner von Braun, is the same man that put Neil Armstrong on the face of the moon, Anne.
Mm.
Well, the whole point is, throughout time, it's just we all suffer. The ants always suffer. True?
This is what it depends what you mean suffering.
Yeah, I don't suffer. I live a good life. I don't. Yeah, yes, you're right. You are
this
right.
Is what I say. People are quick to moan about the lot, but as I say, you've got to look at the reality of it. If you've got food in your belly, there are people that are having to go to food bank.
Nothing's going to bring me down again.
Wait a minute. If you've got food in your belly, if you're online, if you can afford your weed or whatever, and you drink or whatever, guess what? You're not suffering. That's a pastime. It's a pastime. And this will say to people, years ago, people worked for a pittance, and there's people now doing that. You get people have to go to food banks to really struggle, but it's all relative. So I'm not saying people now don't suffer. What I'm saying is it's relative wise, but what is deemed as suffering now is not the same as what it was in the past. And that's where I get locked in, because of course I'm of a different generation when I can remember when it was different. I'll give you an example, perfect example of this. I remember a woman years ago during the 70s when they were going on about the strikes and the unemployment. The unemployment was horrific in the 70s, and strikes and all this. And she said now she could remember the 20s and 30s when the great global crash happened.
The depression,
The depression, right? And she looked at the pictures of people marching, and she said, everyone's got shoes on. She said, that's not poverty. Now, to her, she could remember when poverty meant having no shoes on your feet and wearing rags. But that doesn't mean that the people in the 70s weren't suffering. They were. But it's just that it was a relative type of...
that's what I'm going out with you, Anne. Like, you know, like now, like, I don't suffer. I'm not being big-headed, yeah? But, you know, like, you can only see what you've seen throughout your life, yeah?
Mm.
Right? And in some parts of it...
Have you gone? I haven't used you, have I?
No, can you hear me, Bob?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
And you can only judge suffering through what you've seen, yeah? Like, and I get what you mean. Like, back then, it was totally different ball game. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, but I do believe now, like, there's a lot of people that are going to work, like your nurses, your firemen. You know, like people that should be on a good wage, Anne. They're struggling, and that's not like because they take drugs or anything like that. They're just genuinely struggling with like life and money. You know what I mean?
I know that nurses have a hard time, but firefighters.
There's a lot out there. People go to engineering jobs and are still struggling. You get what I mean?
Yeah, it does happen. You see it happening.
But I'm with you. There's been a lot worse periods throughout our history, and we've got a long history go. Believe it or not, for an island of 70 million and a tiny island, our history is long, isn't it? True?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
it's... I just feel for a lot of English people now when you see them, like, yeah. The law don't work, Pam. Too soft.
It's never worked. It's never worked.
We're too soft, Bab. I'm one of the, I might take a bit of weed and that, and have other things when I fancy it. But in my general opinion, we're too soft on crime. The NHS, you should only be allowed to have God blessed NHS. If you've had that NI number, coming out your wage, Anne. You know what I mean? Like, there should be limits to it. Like, you get what I mean? It shouldn't be accessible to everybody. £7 million on a boat that are coming over every day, right? When they've paid £5,000 to come over, and then we house them. Come on, Anne. You know what I mean?
Oh,
we shouldn't be moaning about money when we're giving away £35 million a week. You get what I mean? When it adds up, and it's massive, isn't it?
Oh, I know what you mean. But that money would not go in your pocket. And I've said this before. It's like the whole thing about. It's like the whole thing about. You remember when we were going into Brexit? Oh, Brexit! And I asked people, kept on asking these people who were supporting Brexit. I said, right, we come out of Europe. Just tell me this: do you really think if they save money, they're going to put it in your bank account? No, they won't. You'll be in the same position, but now we're in a worse position.
Have you seen the statistics to people that vote to don't vote in this country?
Go on, what is it?
It's massively don't vote. I can't tell, honestly, I can't, I'm not going to, because I don't want to lie to you. Yeah? You know, the people that vote to the people that don't vote, yeah?
Yeah.
It's massively people don't vote.
Oh, I haven't voted for
Our biggest vote was Brexit that got the most people out in years.
Because they went.
There's nothing to vote for, Bab.
This is what it is. Brexit, the only reason people were going for Brexit is because they thought big, bad Europe, single-minded, and they let one of the biggest clowns walk through the door, which I said, stop just focusing on Brexit, because if that Boris Johnson gets in, you're in trouble. What goes and happens, they've got their eye off the ball. Oh, Brexit, get rid of the evil Europeans. Says, oh, sovereignty, oh, sovereignty, oh, sovereignty.
What, you mean the man that's paying people £300 for being out in COVID and had a party in Downing Street?
But what I'm saying is, right,
let's start the Real People Party of England.
What people will do is they're single focused. They see one thing and look at that, and they don't look around what's going on around them. This is the whole issue. I've said it last week, that I had with these anti-CSA and CSE campaigners. They were all so single focused, all thinking they were going to be celebrities because the press were going to report on them. And I said, let's finish this. I said, the thing is, it's all going to go blow up in your faces because, one, you're being let down a false road here. You're not going to be famous. You're not going to have every child saved. It's not going to happen. And worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to let the very people you're campaigning against into your own camp. Exactly what happened, because they were single focused. They were looking around.
It's irrelevant whether you vote or leave, yeah? At the end of the day, we have got no one, as people of England, who we truly believe in. We've got no one that carries our values, Bab, right? And I don't care whether you're red, blue, yellow, whatever, right? None of them from the Eton line that comes out of your Conservative, your nice tucked-up tie looking like David Cameron or Rishi Sunak, none of them represent the real 60 million people of this country. Now, nobody ever thought, you go back in America a few years ago, and even to the 60s, and say, you will have a black president, they would laugh at you. They would even think you get what I mean, Gal? Now, the real one time that someone comes into this country and switches on the real English people's hearts, then you'll have a government. Until that time, keep paying for the duck ponds, keep paying for you get what I mean, their lies, their manipulation, their way of life, their way of thinking. Because we know there's no one that we love.
I've left. Just give us 1 second. Humble, if that's you, just show yourself for a second. Brilliant. Here we are. Humble's coming on now. Yeah, Humble. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
No way, I feel like I should pull the fucking Queen's sword out on both shoulders.
But
I
what
feel
it
like
is,
honoured, humble.
having a laugh, right? What you do is a lot of people, yeah, you're right. People are just that's why I stopped voting. Look, as far as I'm concerned, once John Smith died, the Labour leader, that was the end. John Smith, look up, he was the old Labour. That's when old Labour died, and suddenly Blairites happened.
Yeah, but didn't the old Labour used to be for the working class?
Yeah, more than there is now. Yeah. Yeah.
And then the unions got involved and it become more than the working class.
There was there were the Tories, which were always for the middle class and the upper class, and then you had the old Labour, which were for the working class. But then once John Smith died, that went out the window. But anyway, Humble, how are you doing?
I'm okay, Anne. I just thought I'd bring the lovely Donna on here, just have a wee quiet word with you, see how everybody was. I see main man, don't know for fools in there. How you doing, pal? Everybody, John Little, everybody, thanks again for your support. Just wanted to pop in, say hello.
Good evening,
Hello.
Anne. How are you?
Hello, Donna. All right, how are you, sweetheart?
I'm okay. I'm good, thank you. I've had quite a nice day. I'm quite chilled. We had a nice dinner. You know, can't grumble. Everybody's gone to bed around the world smiling and happy that we're aware of. So, yeah, how's things with you?
All right, I say the weather's nice. Got the window open. Just relaxing here. And where's Koshka? Yeah, Koshka's up the
Well, we've moved from the penthouse on, and now we're in. I'll send you some pictures through the week. And I told you, once you're ready and once you get your house set, you're welcome over for a holiday anytime.
Oh well, I'll take you up on that because I haven't had a holiday for you. I keep on saying this. I don't have holidays. Never had holidays. Was always working when everywhere. I'm telling you, it was my poor life was tragic. My poor life.
You'll love our new place. You'll love it.
So
and you're going to be my new nanny, aren't you?
Oh yeah. You're not having a laugh. I'm going to be Donna's new nanny because
that means keeping me in tow. That's that means basically.
It's
just keep an eye on him.
Control. Keeping him under control. Definitely keeping him under control.
Finger painting keeps John quiet for hours.
Yeah. Likes doing his little videos, don't you, John?
Listen, Paddy wished my bad foot. Paddy doesn't realise if I hadn't hurt my foot, I wouldn't be so bored and having to rest my foot. And I wouldn't have been making so many videos on him. So he should be careful what he wishes for.
I think John should just take up origami.
Anyway, what did you think of Dingo? I've been dying to ask you this. What did you think of Dingo's video, COVID Idiots? You know, Mr. Tumble.
I'll say to be honest, and I've not actually watched it, believe it or not. I've been trying to catch up because of the moving house and stuff and packing, and it was, you know, you think you've not got that much stuff to pack, and you've got really loads of stuff to pack.
You've got loads of
man drawers. Yeah, seemingly I've got a lot more clothes here than Donna, but I find that hard to believe, very hard to believe, because I've got a small, very, very small cupboard, and she's got the main wardrobe, so walk in. So yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was. I mean, I don't know what you like now, but I thought it was funny. It's just the way COVID Idiot puts things together, isn't it? He does it in a really It
is funny. COVID is funny. Let's be honest.
Funny.
What I liked about him at first was he was all right, and then he get bought over with somebody. I'm going to be naming this week, and I'm going to name a few people. I'm going to do something you don't like. I'm going to dox some everybody.
Oh no,
that's bad mouth Donna and made up lies about Donna. I'm just going to dox them out and see how they like it.
But that's it.
Well, at first I thought you was like a Roger Cook, just involved in everybody's stuff. But genuinely, you're a decent guy. Genuinely, you are a decent guy with good morals, lives his life right, lives well, doesn't, you know what I mean? Yeah, you've done some silly things, like driving stuff, which is irrelevant, but on hand on heart, Humble's a good man.
To be honest, my driving's no. It shouldn't. I would never ask any youngster to follow my
I
footsteps
wouldn't
in
get
that
on a
because
motorbike or get in a taxi with you or a tuk-tuk. You're having a laugh, mate. No chance. No chance.
People get killed on the roads. I've lost a lot of friends through road accidents. What I do on the road is stupidity. And I know
but
that.
humble, nothing, is it? It's like it's a driving offence. In the grand scheme of things, you're a good man.
I try to be.
He can be. Look, having a laugh. Just let's put this right. I'm sorry. Let's get a little touch of reality. He can be a bitch when he wants to. He can be one little bitch when he wants to. Can't you humble?
At first, Dan, I thought he was like Roger Cook. I thought, who's this fucker getting everyone's business, getting it? Because I didn't get. I didn't understand it. I was new to it, yeah. But when you look into it, Humble's got nothing to hide at all. Humble only exposes people that are taking the beep out of stuff. You know what I mean? And that's where I sort of come round to Humble, thinking he ain't as bad at what people are making out. He's all right.
I do find it funny having a laugh, and the people who do think I'm on the run and all that. I do kind of play along with that. I think it's funny, but
Mate,
I mean,
you're in the golden triangle with, aren't you?
I was actually going to go into the jungle, right? But I'm honestly shit scared of snakes, right? And you know that my lad was in the army, right? And he said, Dad, he said, we're in Kenya, we couldn't find a snake. And he says, so I asked one of the guys for the tribe, find us a snake. And he said, Dad, you're into a hole with a bit of stick. And he said, a few feet from where they were sleeping. And he said, and he pulled out that, he said, Dad, they were everywhere. And that's basically every time I see a hole, I'm like, wow, because they are everywhere, but they don't like humans. They'll shy away from us. But I do love the wildlife, monkeys, and I'll get and feed the stray dogs and stuff like that. This morning, in Thailand, the people really worship dogs and cats and stuff. You really. Like last night, I went out. I actually had a ton of dog meat in the glove box of the car because my stray dogs sometimes are always there's a kind of a pack of them, but they were never out. So anyway, I stopped last night. A dog get put out the shop and I fed it at the side of the street. Just wee things like that. And then this morning, I took somebody. They needed to be somewhere at 5:30 this morning, and it was the first time I'd seen a dog and a cat was actually run down dead on a space of 50 meters. I forgot to tell you. And that's the first time. And this place is like wacky races. The traffic's crazy. Yeah. But they will avoid no hitting them. Really, really, like they totally worship. People say, Ken, it's seedy and all that. The place we live at, right, to be honest, we don't see that. Yeah, I'll be honest. We went to the Bangla Road. There's a few seedy kind of Rolf Harris type people on it, but Pattaya it's a seedy shithole.
CD. Come on, son, man. Not half. That's the wrong thing. A lot of the UK and America's seediness goes out to that part of the world. Come on.
Well, it was Donna said, Ken. It was the Western people that encouraged that sort of behaviour here.
Remember when that cretin was saying he was on the flight? Yeah. Honestly, Humble, remember when that cretin, was saying he's on the flight over there? You know, my biggest thankful about that. I want that fucker to get on a flight over there because it's going to give a bigger pleasure than seeing him locked up in the Bangkok Hilton.
He would never
that would be justice.
He wouldn't get out.
I'll pay for his ticket. Should we go off on the first class ticket for him? Because I swear to God,
I would pay for that.
I'd pay for it with you, mate. We'll pay it anyway. Because we've been after 36 months.
I'm gonna laugh. You blow me wax out here. You're a bit too loud.
36 months, Humble. It would be nothing better than seeing him on a documentary on geography beyond the Bangkok Hilton.
What I have realised, right? So the Thai people, for example, one of the boys, we were out one night with a group of boys, and there's always one Larry boy, right? And he gets kind of drunk. He's a big lumpy lad, and he kind of growled at a fella on his moped. It was a Thai guy, And one of the boys that was with us, he went, "What the fuck are you doing?" He said, "Do you any idea?" He said, "If you start fighting with him, trust me, there'll be 50 of them up here. See if you fight back over here, people think the laws and everything. Let's say you get caught with drugs over here. Yeah, let's say you get caught with maybe 10 pills in your pocket. You're not just getting 50 days in the jail.
You're going to life.
yeah.
I wouldn't smoke an illegal cheap fag in Thailand.
Exactly.
Anyway,
you've got to respect the laws, mate. You get what I mean?
You have to, and see if you defend yourself. See if somebody comes up and hits you and you fight back. That's wrong.
You could, yes, mate. Yes, I'm with you. Yeah. You have to think so far in front to what the consequences are.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? What I mean?
Yes.
Like in England, you might laugh it off, but in Thailand, you ain't laughing it off, mate. You know what I mean? That's why I always say.
Respect. We go to the shrines and we went to the big Buddha and all that, and I'm quite keen in learning a bit about Buddhism. I'm like, I'd say it's more a philosophy.
Would you say that, or did I say that?
You did say that, but yeah, looking into it, it's a philosophy more than a. Yeah.
It's the middle way.
Here we are, humble. Right.
What?
You're studying Buddhism now, are you?
Well, no, I'm going to learn a bit of Thai language, and I want to learn a bit of every language because I feel ignorant. Because people learn our language and we're lazy.
I know,
think
but
everybody
I tell you,
language.
don't you think? Having a laugh. Will you stop jumping in when people are talking, please?
Yeah.
Right. No, you're picking on a very difficult subject in language on your Thai. My God, that's where it's Chinese.
It's not actually that difficult compared to, say, for example, Korean. Learning Korean is actually much harder. One of the things that's a challenge with Thai, but it's similar to Greek, your tone can change a whole sentence. Also, like Greek, they don't have spaces in between the words, so learning to read it and write it, it's
a challenge. It'll be easy for you. You're a clever bugger. I'm not. She'll be able to learn it very quickly.
I used to be able to speak a bit of Mandarin Chinese, a little bit. No, but yeah, Mandarin. Very little bit. Very, very little bit. And that was difficult to know. Anyway, what I want to ask you is this view on with watch what you say, no saying about
I know.
P words or N words or anything like that, please. What do you think about this Decker situation and he's going on that he's a survivor?
I don't believe it, Anne.
No, do I?
I believe he's the most awful individual in the UK on social media at the moment. The levels that man will sink to, the lies he will tell, the depths he will go to is just awful. There's no one else like him.
I think there are quite a lot of people like him. It's just that everybody's looking at him. He isn't unique. His MO is abusive. It's narcissistic. It's not particularly well thought out, but his luck was the first few times he tried something, it worked, and he's just done it again and again and again. And his behavior isn't unique, really. It saddens me to say, but one of the reasons that I got involved is I recognized the behaviors that he was showing, and that triggered me because of my own experiences, and that's kind of how I got involved. And I think his behavior.
See, can I just put in here? I actually met Donna through Humble Dryer.
Well, what do you think he's got, Donna, honestly?
So Decalet's saying that the reason I've got the hump is because he's been with Donna. That's impossible because I was on Deca's case 6 months, 7 months before he even heard of Donna.
You said, what do I think he's got? What did you mean by that? I didn't understand.
Listen, we can all knock him. He has got mental health, true or false?
No.
It's drugs. It's drugs. He's
it's drugs. It's
taking
not
drugs.
mental health.
I'm with you, Humble.
I've took every drug on the planet, right? Apart from DMT, which I've not done yet. And he's on drugs. That's what he's on a vast amount of Valium, which makes you speak out of school. He's on cocaine. He's sniffing it basically on his
But
lives.
I think more than that, one thing that he's very, 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 very good at is listening to what people say and repeating it in a believable way. As an example, James English. When James English began speaking about manifestations, for example, within 24 hours, Derek Heggie was doing exactly the same thing. When somebody speaks to him about their challenges with trauma, he will repeat those stories. He doesn't go into the finer details. He gives you, it's almost like a brief synopsis. And by doing that, he's able to sort of, I've used the word harvest previously, but I think that is a little bit, it sounds dramatic, but I think he creates mental health common ground.
No, what he does, Donna, this is what I point out in the video I did about him the other day, and these claims he's making. Exactly what you've said, and you can catch him out doing it. He'll listen to someone else and grab what they're saying and think, that sounds believable. But what he's doing, like most people who do that, they don't stop to think, am I setting up here a contradiction in terms? And that's what he does, and that's what exposes him.
So, Donna Humberland, narcissist, yes or no?
Is Derek Heggie a narcissist?
Yeah. Narcissist, yes or no?
I think he's a cluster B narcissist. Yes, he's a narcissist.
Humble?
Definitely, mate.
And?
Yeah.
I thought I'd a bit everybody's got a wee bit of narcissist behaviour in them, but he's certainly top of the range, yeah.
But you know what gets me, and this is
Humble, 100% brother. Top of the range.
This is what I'd like to ask everyone, right? See what you think on this. When you get people like this who's knocking my stomach, he really is. I can't imagine anyone wears that big Tony fella, right? And others are on there. How the hell can someone sit there and know that this man that they are blowing smoke right up his hoop, they have heard him turn around and say that he doesn't know who this child is. Yet we've got videos of him speaking about this child.
Naming the child.
So how the hell does, especially a father with a daughter, think, oh, I'll just ignore that. I can't get that. That's more mystifying to me. Actually, I think they're worse than what he is by doing that.
And in 2018, a man who he's now retired, right? But he used to work for the air ambulance service, right? He's a ringside medic, and he's very, very well respected. He's retired. Now, he said to me in 2018, I got friendly with him over the years. I speak to him on a personal level now. And his wee grandson was going through a hellish time through all this. He was losing his eyes and cancer. Just heartbreaking, right? Real problems. And, you know, and I said to him, I said, Bill, sorry, I just said his name there. He said to me in 2018, he said, John, there's something going on here within Carlisle Constabulary. And I went, well, listen, I don't believe in conspiracies, and I was going to push that stuff to the side. But since then, and looking, two of the allegations that he had, right, was 6 years apart, was the same arresting officer. Okay, now that arresting officer, who I'm not going to name right next, I need to get his name 100% correct. The same time Derek done, the same arresting officer went and done a book on hate crime, etc., etc. He's actually done a couple of books, and he's been the same arresting officer that's NFA'd him. On a couple of occasions, it's not even been, it's been like, you know, like parking ticket police, like a lady, like one Bobby, basically, just went and took a statement, and it's basically just been brushed away. Ken, this is pointless even reporting. This is a girl who's got to meet under a bridge. She showed him. The mother showed the text messages to the policewoman, right? The text messages the policewoman told the mother to destroy them.
Yeah.
You get in if that's actually on his acro. That
See,
bit is actually on his acro. You get in if, but you get told to, the mother get told to destroy the text messages.
Yeah, and then I will not get the algorithm right. Just look into your own heads. Right, all of us here now, who's on the panel, who's listening, who's watching, yeah, just look into your own heads and think about how bad you must be to lie about. I can't say that word.
Well, you just say lie about being a survivor.
Lie about your neighbour doing stuff to you. Is that all right, man?
Yeah, you just say survivor. That's what I always say.
Just imagine how ill you must be to have to lie about that thing with that sort of stuff. Yeah? Is that all right, Anne?
Yeah, it's worse than lying about what it is. But again, having a laugh. Just let's say this right. This is what I've said in the past, and I've said it again. I'll say it again. Right. This is what was happening in 2014 when everything erupted with this saying VIPs and all this, right?
Yeah, but Anne, could you dream of that?
Well, wait a minute. So anyway, it all pops off and goes off, right? The fact was, when people were lying, and I said, and I was the one that actually pointed out a couple of them that were lying, that they was hero worship, and that's being wonderful. One of them now is still doing his prison sentence. The other one was an MP from Manchester.
No, Anne, you're missing the point. How low would you personally have to sink in your own mind to come out with that delusional rubbish?
It gets
it gets. How bad is that person's mind?
I know. How bad is that person's mind? What it is, right? It gets sympathy. It makes someone unquestionable. I had someone in my chat, and I've got rid of her, which is a shame because I really liked her, but she's too much on the Decker bandwagon. And she kept on, she said to me, we shouldn't question someone that could be a survivor and all that business, right? No, you do question them because people lie, and that's why they lie, because people think that people... The point. No, listen to me, right? I'm going to mute you if you carry on jumping in and not let me finish the whole sentence, right? I haven't misunderstood what you're saying. Right, the fact is, the reason they do it, this is the answer. The reason they do it is because they know people will say, oh, you can't question them. It's like it's like the Me Too movement. Oh, you can't question a woman now when she says she's been abused. Oh, yes, you can. Yes,
bang on, man. I'm with you. The only thing he's got left is a big C.
Yeah, that which, when you think of it, it's as bad as lying about that.
You get where I'm coming from, Babby?
Yeah, I know exactly where you come from and agree
with you.
Could your
mom think that low to divulge that fantastical stuff?
Yeah,
it's sick. I couldn't. Donna couldn't. You couldn't.
No.
So where's it come from? That's my underlying issue.
I think, though, and
go on, Donna. You say what you would say.
I don't want to accommodate bad behaviour. However, what I will say is that sometimes, you asked a very straight question. Do you think he's got, or words to the effect, do you think he's got mental health problems? I do believe that he has borderline personality traits of it. But I think that he doesn't see it as a problem because at the time, I'm not talking about his drug problem. I'm talking about him truly believing that he is been victimized, about him truly believing when he's sort of like conversed with himself about somebody else's story. You're asking how low he must go. But can you imagine actually being able to take on other people's stories and process them? It's fucked.
It's fucking horrible.
I'm surprised by you, Donna. I'm surprised that you
I
come out
know.
with that word.
I'm
Disgust.
sorry.
No, but
that
just
was
tell me
an
one thing.
educated use
Yeah.
of the word.
Just tell me one thing, right? Because this always gets me bored.
No, you tell me one thing. Did your mind think that loud?
Oh, look, I've just answered you. Right, I answered you before. I'm not answering the same question again. Right, Donna. What is a borderline personality disorder? Because this makes me giggle. Everything's a borderline personality disorder now. Maybe someone's just a bad person. And it's got nothing to do with
I didn't say that he had borderline personality disorder. What I said was he has traits of it. He shows traits of somebody who is not stable. He'll go, say if he's talking about something that he is angry and upset about. He's spoken about one man, a man in Carlisle. I'm not even going to use his name. His name begins with D. And when Decker has spoken about him, it isn't normal. His responses have never been normal. Now he's either eaten up by hatred and jealousy, guilt and negative emotion, or he's got something really wrong with him. And since that hasn't been diagnosed,
physical traits.
He's got trait. He certainly has. What it borders with, I don't know, but I think that it could be as a result of drug
He
use.
lies about it. He said he's bipolar, right? He's never once mentioned the medication you get for bipolar once. He said in 2016 he was diagnosed bipolar. Then he said he was diagnosed with complex PTSD. The only thing he would have PTSD with was filling out a bloody job application.
Wait a minute, just everyone, wait a minute, John. Having a laugh, you'll have to stop doing this. You're jumping in, let someone finish the sentence, then you have to say. But you keep on jumping in and you can't hear what someone's saying. You'll have to get a control of that. Go on, John. Carry on.
Just a short one, right? Everybody should take on board. So he's getting the help from the police. That's inevitable, right? Whoever up the stair there that might know something on him, like Ian Hodgson, best of friends with his dad, run Harrowby Catholic Club together, check out in Company's house, CID up the stairs, right? But you've also got George Arthur Guest, who was managing Decker back in 2018, 2019. George Arthur Guest is responsible for getting the basic DBS with nothing on it for him to get the role as being an extra in Bulletproof and The Corrupted. Now, if the programmes were to get pulled, George Guest has got to get his arse sewed off. So would it be easy for George Guest to get a trolling army and pay them, I don't know, pennies? Because Tom Price was only wanting 50 quid a bloody month or something. A pint and a pie a week. You know.
What happened to him, John? What happened to Pete Price?
We outed him, didn't we? Me and Cam are outed him, and he basically disappeared. He wrote to the prison authorities and everything.
He's truly to blame for his actions.
He damaged what you call him Salvador's parole. He raised money for Charles Salvador and he pocketed that as well. He pretended he worked in a nursing home and he gets sacked for it for reporting. It was a bloody chocolate factory he worked in.
He said that he'd save children, and what he meant, but what the actual he dressed up reporting spilt chocolate on the Nestle factory floor, and then he sort of promoted that idea into he'd save children because the chocolate was on the floor and it would probably be given to children.
He said he was working in a bloody nursing.
That was a separate thing. I'm sure it was a separate thing.
It was the same thing. He turned the nursing home story into the chocolate factory story into a nursing home. He said he worked at a nursing home, and he said he gets sacked from a nursing home for reporting on bad people being bad, people bloody being bad to patients, and he was sacked because he reported this. He was working at a chocolate factory. He's an absolute Walter Mitty. He raised money for Charles Salvador. He was also the person who ran about Paula. You remember Paula, who married Charles Salvador, who committed suicide?
Yeah.
Tim Price, basically fell in love with her, if truth be known, and he stalked the life out of that lassie. Absolutely. He was the one that took, you know how the pretend Paula and the lookalike Charles Salvador leaving the prison, they made it look like it was, Listen, they've even got a wee dungeon made like
Have you got
Charles
kids? You
Salvador's cell.
got
They're
If you
totally after rockers, man.
Because I haven't, yeah. But if you got kids, I'm not. I don't want you to be inquisitive. Like you don't.
Kids, yeah. We've got 7 kids between us, mate. Yeah.
Have you got kids?
Have I got kids? No.
What? So do you really? You tell me honestly, who's responsible for his actions?
That's a good question.
Good
What
question,
do you
Paul.
think?
What do I think? I think he got
Yeah,
raised with a family of just a disgusting family.
Oh,
Not his behaviour. But I blame, because I tell you now, I haven't got kids like Anya, but I'll tell you now, if I behaved like he behaved, yeah, my mum wouldn't listen to me. You get what I mean? And not what I'm saying is, Humble and Donna, would you back your children if they were like that?
No.
Be honest.
If any of my kids, listen, somebody close to me, right, was close to that friend, was charged with rape 10 years ago. Right? And I told them, listen, I told them before we went into court, it was a 3-day trial. I said, I don't care what the judge thinks of you in here. I don't care what the jury thinks of you in here. If I think you're guilty in here, I will never speak to you in my life again.
If that was your child, would you speak to him?
Would I speak to him? No.
Would he be in your box bedroom?
No. I wouldn't have him
round
his sister's got him round his knees. But see, everybody has to remember his sister had to sign a thing. His sister, Cassie, had to sign a thing. And so did his Auntie Jackie with social workers to say that they would not leave the children in the presence of himself without them being there. That's the only reason he can see his nieces and nephews in that house.
If you and Donna, with your children, had a child like that, would you be giving him stuff in the bathroom and a place to sleep, or would you be honest and expose them for what they are? You get what I mean?
But father like son,
forget the father. You value your mother. Your mother's worth more than your father, brother.
Yeah, listen, Beat Barbara just does what she's told. Everybody that I've spoken to has been in the house. Said she just does what she's told. She's
you know what? I
swear.
Wait a minute. I'm going to have to mute you having a laugh because you're just talking over.
Sorry,
but
everyone. So I'm going to
I feel
mute
sorry
you
for Barbara, but yeah, because she's only told to do what she's told.
So this is which Barbara took? Because I'm lost now.
That's his mum. Everybody that I know hates Decca and don't like the dad. Said that Barry is the only one in the house who'll say, "Stop bringing trouble to my mum's door," where father sits there, he gives out the orders. You make me dinner. She eats when they tell her to eat.
The thing is, right, with the father, and I've said this in the past, he actually has tried to cover up for Declan and life from him, and that's what I've often thought. It's wait a minute, this thing. I'm hoping it don't kick it out by us. Unmute. Why won't it unmute? Oh, you've muted yourself. Oh, I see. That's it. I see what's happening. I think why can't unmute it? But anyway, yeah, it's all getting very.
You've told me more than in fucking Eurovision.
It's with his father. He definitely is defending him. Now, I know that people say, well, when it's your own child and all this, you'll give them the benefit of the doubts and they'll, you'll be more lenient towards them. But it's just going on. It's really going on a strange, I don't know, I can't work it out. He's loving all the attention.
It's Valium and he's swallowed. He must be. I've taken Valium, right? A vast majority of them. And they make you do things like, I know people saying 10, 20 years in jail and they don't have a bloody clue what they've done on them, right? They're probably the worst drug I ever detoxed off of. I would rather detox off heroin cold turkey than ever come off Valium ever again. If I was given the choice, I would rather detox off heroin, rather do cold turkey, and that's how bad they are. Yeah. Xanax and your Valium and that. They're horrible,
It's done
disgusting
then.
drugs, and they're legal, and they're flung out willy-nilly to people.
It's Donna there, Humble.
Yeah, she's here, mate.
I'm here.
Right. As the only mother on this panel, yeah, which you are, true or false?
I am. Yes.
Right. How would you feel about your? And listen, I know a mother's love is a mother's love, yeah, right? How would you feel as a mother having that cretin as your child? You get what I mean, Donna? Come on, guys.
I'm going to tell you something, right? Okay, this is a little bit close to the bone, but I'll go with it, right? My son was accused of rape when he was below the age of 16, and
tell what age he was.
He just turned 14, but the rape was apparent.
Oh, stop saying that word.
Great.
Well, I'm reporting something. I'm not using it as an allegation against somebody. So anyway, so I had to sit down and explain to him what consent was, and all the rest of it. And I demanded to see his phone. Fortunately, he hadn't deleted any text messages. As it turned out, the woman that had accused him of rape had actually groomed and sexually abused him over a long period of time. However, in answer to your question, that presented me with a huge moral dilemma. Do I protect my child? I felt as though he knew the difference between right and wrong. You can bring other things into. Sorry?
How old was she?
She was 24.
So she's
a cadet. She was an army cadet.
She's a Tommy kangaroo dance sport then. It wasn't the son.
Right, but I didn't know that when he was. I didn't know any details when the allegation. He wasn't allowed to go to school. He wasn't allowed to go to cadets. He was isolated.
She was an army cadet.
And I made the decision then that if he has done that, I didn't know if it was another child. At that time, when I was making that sort of, I was sort of processing it in line with my values, but really struggling, as you can imagine. I decided that I just decided I needed to see his telephone immediately. And I would say that anybody whose child somebody accusing somebody of something and then not actually knowing if it's actually happened, you got to check the facts. And I would have not spoken to him ever again.
If it was D8, you'd have seen through the book. You'd have seen through the Frankie Dettori mess.
Yeah,
can you swear on it?
Sorry.
You know, if DH was your son, yeah, and carrying on, yeah, you'd have seen through like the Frankie Dettori mess. You get what I mean?
Yeah, but I think I might also be really scared of him.
What I'm saying is, Donna, would you back that?
You're not giving her a chance to answer it.
I think I would be really, really I like to see myself as sort of like our little family being the head of it. If somebody's upset or somebody's unwell, it's the sort of like usually, not always, but often it's the mother or the mother role. And I think that she's in a really, and I've said this before, I think she's in a really horrible position. She's probably been groomed by the same position that some of the women that have been impacted by this situation have been. I think she's probably scared. I would be scared. Be scared. If he was my son, I would be afraid. He would make me afraid. And I think I'd probably be more inclined to comply, to make sure other members of my family were all right. Because what do you do? What do you do? What do you do if Derek goes berserk in your house?
Yeah. You got to feel. I know it's weird to say, but in a way, you've got to feel sorry for her.
I do. I think that in a lot of ways she's maybe can be seen as being complicit in some of the things that have happened, but from a
she
mother,
can't do nothing. She's stuck
what
in
can
that
she
house.
do? What can she do?
She could go to women's aid. They would need to put her out the house and all the rest of it. But I mean,
But reality is hard.
It must be hard as a mother to watch your son doing all this. Like,
Yeah. Or anybody close to you.
It must be. Like Philip, like Gordon the Gopher's finger puppet. You get what I mean? His mother. It must be hard.
Mhm.
And I can't tell you about that because I'm not a mother. That's why I asked you.
I think that you would probably look at the situation depending. I don't know what her reality is. I don't know what her relationship's like with her husband. I don't know that.
Well, they've never been married in bloody 40, 50 years.
But I don't know what her experience is. I really don't know. I don't know what her life was like before she met the father. I just don't know. But I think that I would just wish for her that there's some sort of resolution to this, and I think that as her son, she would just want to be proud of her son, and the fact that isn't the reality. I think that's really sad. Is it his selfishness? I don't know. Is it her lack of action? I don't think so. I think she's probably scared. I'd be scared.
You have to listen to, like, Dot. She put a story out there. It's on the channel, right?
Well, Scott's story is the most fascinating, engrossing piece of inside look into that cretinous, horrible mind of that
wait.
Do you know the police actually? This is how much trust that was in Carlisle Constabulary. You know, a policeman actually come in without the other police knowing and sneaked her a phone, an emergency phone. That's how much trust was in Carlisle Constabulary way back then. And if you look at the story, Dot's story, if you look at Geraldine's story, and if you look at all the other women's stories, it's textbook. It's all the exact same things, the exact same way it's happened.
Well, he's admitted, hasn't he? He admitted that in his last one, when he was going on about his alleged experiences, he said that he treats women like crap because he thought that's the way you're supposed to treat them after he was treated. Well, I'm sorry. He's just admitted. He's just admitted.
You said that. I'm still choked up about it because out of all the testimonies and all the statements, when you listen to AT, or as I call him, the Scottish Four, with Dot, right, it's unscripted, and when you hear that woman answer every question and explain what actually happened, it's horrible.
Good night, John Little. Good night, mate.
It's true, John. From every emotion that woman felt throughout that relationship, come across on that camera and on that microphone, unedited. There's no reason, nobody can ever argue with it. That woman went through hell. And to listen to that, it hurt. Because that woman truly is the only one. I don't know about Geraldine. But when you listen to Dot, there is no way of saying she's lying. It's not like Prince Andrew with his sweaty shirt. Dot told the truth.
I actually got a fright, right, because it was planned that she wasn't going to put her face on it. I didn't want her to put her face on it. I didn't even want her to use her real name. But when I put the camera on, she's sitting there, I went, "Dot, your camera's on." She went, "I know." And I said, "What you want me to title this?" She said, "John, I'm using my real name and I'm putting my camera on." And I went, "You sure about this?" And she went, and I asked Dawn to speak to her. I said, "Make sure you need to be 100% sure of this." She went, "I'm sure of this. I'm ready for this." And I went, "Okay, it's your decision."
And if anybody's got any doubts about the story with Dot and stuff, just go back to Decker's conversation with his mum, and he refers to Dot's story, and it's there. It's there's going to be people that accommodate his behaviour by saying that everybody's lying about him. Well, I hope that, that it's actually easier for people to believe that than to have their values challenged by somebody that they've been really, really taken in by. And I'm really sorry that that's the reality of people.
So off the cuff. So off the cuff. Every question Alexander asked Dot was like, it was unscripted. Every emotion Dot showed was pure to that question that got asked, unscripted.
She still doesn't watch TV to this day.
You can't fake that, Humble.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. No woman can fake them emotions. When you listen to that interview, when Alex is asking Dot, and it's like, it's just like, and you know what? It's fucking. Oh, sorry, Ad. It's hard.
She sleeps with a gum shield in at night. Her jaw was so badly, but she sleeps with a bloody gum shield. When he kicked her in the backside, she said she actually thought she'd broke her back.
He broke that.
He absolutely destroyed the car one day while she was driving along the road. Destroyed the car. The dashboard a lot. He started ripping everything out of the car because she said she looked at somebody on the road.
Every second was true. She did not lie from 001 to the hour on. That woman did not lie.
Can we just this is getting into like draw and right out. You believe what she said. We've established that. So you've established, Humble, that you believe what she said. So we've got that established. So where do we go from here?
I don't know. And
straight through the back.
He's recruiting everybody from Facebook and Instagram, what she's always done. Now, because he said his channels was going down for badness, he says to me, I'm starting another mental health page up. That was him getting at me because I know that's what he would do, right? So you let's say one of your kids went missing. He would contact the family and say, I've got a big platform out here. I'll get this shared and asking for your loved one to return home. It would then get shared maybe 50,000 times. And this is why he grew his channel organically.
And John,
his ways and means of getting vulnerable people pulled in. There's a guy in this chat he's a friend of mine. He's very, very wealthy. He's a very good bit. He's as straight as a die. He's a proud owner of a Lamborghini, and anybody that's got a Lamborghini is and bought that with good money and paid these taxes is a friend of mine for the day. Anyway, he contacted him because a loved one had died, and he said that he'd do a memorial thing for him, would he sponsor him, and then he wanted money for doing it. He tried to basically suck the guy in and get a few quid off the guy, but the guy wasn't stupid. The guy's an intelligent guy, and he knows who he is out there, and that's how I get friendly with the guy. Before I knew all this money and all the rest of it, I contacted the guy and I went, just watch him. He said, oh, he's already trying to bite me. He's got to come out and talk about it someday. But yeah, this is the kind of things he does.
This is the thing, though. I think they hit the nail on the head saying that people embarrassed now that are supporting them not to believe. And that's what people tend to do. To save face, they'll carry on, believe in someone. That's what they'll do.
You humble, karma, and all this getting involved in something that there's people on 50 grand a year plus to deal with it. Should be. It shouldn't be down to the likes of us. This is well above our pay grade.
But yeah, how did he do it?
Well, for a start, how the hell does he keep blagging court since 2021? Like Dodgy Day, Sir Dodgy Day said, you need to pull the rabbit out of the ad decker. Well, he's still pulling that rabbit out in 2023.
Yeah.
True or false, Humble?
But listen to this, right? So when he was down filming, his name was Lenny, right? Now, if you put in Deca, Heggie, and the word and Disney like, right? If you put it into Google search, there's a story there that the Guardian done. Now, whoever's done it is very clever because I've not actually named him in it, but his name's in the keywords there, however the computer folk do it. So it's about him. But obviously,
Yeah, but Don, why
the reason it never get taken to court because the woman would not give over the full contents of her phone. They wouldn't give her. They wanted everything, every single thing, every picture of her kids, a lot. They wanted every single content out her phone. And she went, why we going back 10 years here? We're talking about an incident. And that was why that never went to court.
Why the hell have you and Donna and everyone else got their blood pressures raised over some cretin that should have been dealt with by 5 government organisations that are paid above and beyond to deal with this shit?
Because they are. That's the answer to it. They are. You can't get an answer to that. They are.
But look what they're doing, right? On the war against drugs, they're using convicted child rapists. They're using people who's been done for sex. This is not my words. Go and Google it. I keep referring to it all the time. Northumbria Constabulary, and they said they would not question doing it again, which bloody tell me they were doing it as they speak. Yeah,
it's called
they're
being
using people. They're not interested in your kids getting raped and that, guys. They're more interested in finding who's getting cocaine in their bloody cupboards. That's the truth of the matter.
That fat, bald-headed, testicle-looking, whatever he is, has got more drugs inside him than fucking Pablo Escobar, yeah? So why isn't these NHS people that he's apparently got mental health issues with doing stuff? Why even these 70 grand a year people not dealing with this cretin?
Because they're not. Look, right, do you know what? Why is the world round? I'd prefer it to be square. It's round. You're asking questions, I'm not being funny. You can't go say why this, why that, why the other. It is. There's some things that you just have to accept. That's the way they are.
You think it's acceptable that the Scottish courts keep giving them pass for being mentally unwell?
You're not going to solve it by getting angry about it. This is what I say.
I'm not getting angry, Bob. I'm just a little bit emotional. My point is, why isn't the Scottish courts, you know what I mean? Why ain't they dealing with it? Why is it coming down to people like Karma, Humble, DD, all these sort of people who've got genuine lives that need to get on and enjoy their own lives? Why is it boiling down to people of societies to deal with a cretin that can't? You get what I mean? There's more things out there.
But how do you having a laugh? How do you feel? I've got him.
I think you've got 24 hours on your left side.
Basically trying this. What they hoped for on the run up to Decca's exposé, they hoped that I would get pulled in and questioned over beating Donna up, murdering her, beating the kids up. Yeah, the police came into my house and told me they had a call from the Welsh social work to do a welfare check on the kids because there was reports that I'd been beating Donna's children up. The police left my house embarrassed. Yeah,
Donna would beat your ass, John.
You know what's good. You know who's
Donna would beat your ass.
You know who's going to grab that, don't you? Humble.
I mean, but Anne, again, you've got macros there. I wasn't pulled in question on it. They come into my house and spoke to the kids, and they left embarrassed. I said, listen, guys, I don't blame you for coming and checking on these things. Yeah, I said I'm more embarrassed at the fact that the kids have had to get asked the bloody questions. Yeah, and they know fine who's put the questions into somebody's heads. I mean, imagine helping. You could hate me all you want, right? If you've lost a wife or whatever, I don't care. But imagine siding up with somebody like Decca Heggie to try and get at me. That shows you the quality of a man, yeah? When he can go and stick and work with him. That's why his exposé was so long, because they were hoping to get me NFA'd and things. So when Humble put his acro, there'd be all these NFAs about children and everything on it. You don't get NFA'd in malicious calls, guys. I've had tasers and everything pointed at me. It's not on it because I was never questioned on it. They come into my house and ask the kids, has John ever raised a hand to you? And they're looking at the house and they're looking at it just been the boy's birthday. And I looked at the coppers and I went, they look as if they're fucking battered, didn't they? And they went, I'm sorry, John, we just had to came. It came from Wales, so I had to check. And I said, no, I know exactly what's happening. They were hoping that you would pull me into a police station, question me, and then FA, and then it'd be on my acro. Anne's got my 2 acros there. I have never been pulled into a police station once.
Well,
not once in question over beating children or beating as much as I could murder her half the time every morning, probably. I've never been questioned.
Say something here. Let's just say something here, John. Know about this issue because we'll have to address this quickly. About you being asked to send your acro to a solicitor. Now, I put a community post up because he gets on my nerves. He really does get on my nerves where he's carrying on. Let's just say it and get it out there because he's most probably listening to this. Look, pop up in the shed. You have to stop this game and give the name of your solicitor because it can't be done otherwise. And one thing I'm going to tell you off for, John, you shouldn't have put the first page up there. I told you.
Yeah.
Don't give him an inch. Don't, because that old fraud is sitting there working it. He's working it. And that's what he's doing.
I've been told, Danny, he's trying to get as much details as he can to try and sue me. That's what I've been told tonight.
How can he sue you? You mean he's living in a shed?
He's trying to sue me, honestly, on a civil case because I'm called him a paedophile. Yeah?
Oh, thank you.
Thank
you. There goes my monetization out the window. That's my monetization, right?
He's trying to sue me on civil grounds because I'm calling him.
Don't say that word again. But anyway, just say about that, right?
One eye fucking eye patch, yeah?
Hey, come on. No, I don't want to read any more naughties, no naughties. Anyway, but I just wanted to say about that. The way he's getting caught. I'm sorry. Look at the abuse I had to put up with from him when he was with Ellis. You know, when he was saying, "Oh." One thing I don't like is being interrupted when I'm making a statement that the populace are hanging on. Aren't you all there?
Well, I know that.
Oh my God. Anne's giving a statement. We must all listen because we are glued with it. Aren't you, chat? You're all loving everything I say. So anyway, let me get on with what I was going to say. Yeah, all this, he treated me. Was when he was hanging around and when he was girlfriends with Ellis and Bertha, calling me for everything. I didn't do anything about it. He said the most horrendous things about Donna to get at you. He said that. Even if he had the money, which he hasn't, and you'd have to be a millionaire to make it worth him suing you, he's not going to be able to do it. But even if he did, all that you've got to do, like happened in another case for a person I'm not going to mention, which I was dragged into, right, online. The thing is, you can say, well, look at the way he's been communicating with me. He's encouraged it. So basically, he's got no case at all.
And he fell right into Humble's trap a couple of weeks ago and mentioned Donna's full title in a derogatory way. Now, Mr. Patrick Pop-Up Pirate in the Shed. Yeah, that's where he fell right into my trap, and we will be pursuing that. Yeah, I will put every penny I've got into pursuing your name getting in the paper for calling an innocent girl a hooker, a prostitute. You've even called a Donna Love Jones. I've never even bloody heard in my life. A traveller's girl, daughter from Wales. I've never heard it. You've said Donna's a police informer. All these things, but you used a proper title, Mr. Patrick Pop-Up Pirate, and you fell right into my trap there. I was waiting on you doing it, and you went for it, and I've got it. Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, he can't sue anyone. He just hasn't got any case. I love this one. People, I'm going to sue you for defamation. Good luck.
I could get Donna to do exactly what he did to Stephen Sayers and get Donna to make a 10-page statement. Yeah, because Donna's a law-abiding citizen. I couldn't because I'm a bad boy. Donna, like Anne, is a law-abiding citizen. Yeah, like Paddy's wife when she went and made a statement about Cumbrian Truth, threatening to burn the farm down. Right, she was entitled to go and make that statement. It's a bit like Cookie's wife. Now, bearing in mind, we've got Cookie, poor Cookie, lying in jail there. Yeah, do you know Northumbria Police didn't even know? A department of Northumbria Police didn't even know Cookie had been recalled.
No.
Did you know that?
No. Nope.
So they were dragging with the paperwork, yeah?
So just let's ask you something, right? Why Why is Decker going to court this week?
Because he's a wronger.
No, why is he going to court? What's the case against him?
Humble, what is a ministry of court in Scotland?
Well,
Hey,
basically,
wait a minute.
he's going to
Wait,
sheriff
don't.
court.
What is the case he's going? What's he being
So
tried
we've got
for?
sheriff court, we've got sheriff court and high court in Scotland. High court,
Dangerous
you can
driving,
get 4 years in a row.
no licence, danger of life, in trying to kill
Yeah.
the public, leaving the scene of an accident.
Is that what it is? Why?
Basically, what happened was they said the trolls set him up, stole a car without somebody's nearly knocked down 2 workers. Left the scene. Yeah, basically, and basically the trolls cut off his fingerprints and put them all over the car. That's
Do you know what? No order you hear. Wait a minute. No order you hear.
What is the Ministry of Court in Scotland? I don't get it.
Wait a minute. You know when having a laugh. This is why I have to keep on jumping in. Know when you go and you jump in. This is what people in the chat hear. And you can't hear what you're saying. So there's pointless saying it. Just let the person answer or say what they're saying. Then you say it. Then we can hear what you're saying because you just hear the noise from me. You don't actually hear words.
That's right.
So go on, John. What were you saying? Explain this to us.
So he's supposed to be at Dundee. Now he got it put off last year because of his mental health. Remember, he said he wasn't strong enough mentally, but he was on alive that day. Yeah. So he got it put off. Then I think because he assisted his legs through steroid abuse, I mean, dirty hit, he got it put off again. But this time he will need to attend. Now he's pled not guilty, I believe. So I don't know how he's going to get the trolls to explain how the trolls put his fingerprints there. He's having a nervous breakdown. He's asked for a state of execution. Yeah.
In Scotland, Humble.
It is. He's asked. He said he's having a nervous breakdown, and he's hoping to get it put out through the mental health.
I know. What's an administrative court in Scotland?
Right. So in England, you've got your Crown Court and your magistrates.
Yeah.
So we have got a sheriff court and a high court.
You're right.
Right. So you don't want to be going to the high court unless if you went to the high court, you've got more. Well, listen, if you were not guilty and you wanted to try, you would want to go to the high court as much as if you get found guilty, the sentence is bigger, right? But you'll get a more of a fairer trial at the high court. But the sheriff court, you'll still get up to 4 years or 4.5 years, I think, in the sheriff court.
So what's a ministry?
Ministry, that'll be over sheriff court.
That's in the sheriff court, but because his solicitor is going there to make some sort of statement as to why he can't attend court, probably making some sort of representation to say that he's not fit to stand trial or whatever. I believe that's probably what's happening.
Well,
that's what happened last time.
If you read what Kelsey said here, Kelsey's just said someone has just said in the chat he's uploaded a video tonight from hospital again, just in time for court.
Oh, I just showed you.
Yeah, well,
now, I don't know it, but Kelsey hasn't seen that, so she's heard it secondhand. But he has been playing this mental health card, hasn't he? He's a manipulator. Yeah.
And this is what got me, Anne. I remember Anne asking me, you know, why I said, Anne, remember first when I started speaking to Anne, because me and Anne had a lot of rows behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And I said to Anne, Anne, what gets me when you've started paying attention to him is how he plays on the mental health. When people are out there proper, I mean, I've had suicidal thoughts, but I've never actually had the balls to carry it through.
John, that's
and I've never ever spoken about them either, right? But he says the people that have these thoughts don't speak about them.
I don't know. Some do.
Not every day, Anne. Not every day.
Not everyone does.
I mean,
but
yeah.
I know he does make. Let's put this. Let me clarify this. He makes a big performance of things, so you can't take what he's saying. But some people can actually, and I've known it, to actually talk about it and say, look, I'm feeling this way, but not in the way he does. He's always doing it for a reason where usually when someone's talking about it, it's a cry for help, but they will talk about it. But you can usually tell when someone's doing it for a reason like he is, and when someone's actually doing it because they're genuinely,
do you know, man, that's true. The biggest thing, what I've been learning, I've known 2 people that try and take their lives, and they don't. They ain't got the phones with them. They go off to do it. In fact, you can even Google it. One person in the middle jumped straight in front of a train. Right. So with mental health, this is what annoys me, and it annoys me so much. Yes, he has got mental health, but it's not what he's playing.
I don't think having a laugh. I don't think he has got mental health issues. I think it's all drug related. He's too manipulative. He is as bright. He is as bright as a button. Even with the drugs,
I'm going to stick with Anne. I'm going to stick with Anne in that one as
well. I agree with that. And he's the cleverest person in all the wrong ways.
Yes,
exactly. He's a manipulator, and he also enjoys manipulating people. Because if you watch him, right, and I pointed this out, if you actually watch him, he's blatantly lying, and no one will be caught out in his lies. And he's getting off on it because he's got these idiots there, because he's got his people believing him, and that's a thrill to him. He's got control over them, and that's what he needs. He needs control. That's
but surely there should be people above us that can realise that this is all fantasistical. This is what annoys me, Babby. It really does, chicken.
I know. I did get it that annoys you, but there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do.
And sorry to interrupt. Is Jockney Sparrow coming on for a wee while?
Do you want to come on, Jockney?
Come on, Jockney. Me and you's never actually spoken properly.
I just mean we can all see it, so why can't they see it?
Because they don't want to see us. That's the thing.
Or are they bound by legislation?
I don't know, right? You have to accept the world's crap at times, and you just have to accept it. And that's what we have to. It's not. If it was paradise, we would never have fallen out with God, would we? So it's not always going to be a troublesome world, no matter how perfect it can be run. So it's never going to be perfect. Life, as I always say, we come into this life and we don't come with a contract that says, guess what, you're going to have it easy and you're going to have justice and nothing's going to go right for you. You come into this world and you just have to get through it until you get out.
No, but I'm surely justice should be served. This is what it's about. Justice should be served on the people that are doing this sort of stuff. And this is what annoys me. Really annoys me, man. It's like we're decent human beings that can see what's going on.
Well, what can they do? What can they do to him about life?
Videos, man, drag him to court.
What are they going to do to him?
It's not ill, is it? This is what. Yeah, I'm with you, Anne. I'm with you. Honestly,
they can't do anything.
I know what you're saying, but it's annoying, isn't it? Come on, Gal.
It's annoying, but you can't do anything about it. You just have to live with it. Some things you have to accept. 2021,
you should have stood trial for this. We're in 2023.
Listen, do you know what? There isn't end a story, right? There isn't a justice for every wrong. Some wrongs happen, and people just have to live with it. There'll never be justice for it, and that's life. And you just have to go on with it. Getting upset about it or getting wound up about it.
I'm with you, buddy.
Nothing. You can have outrage.
Do you think it's fair?
So what's happened to Jockney? Is he coming on or not? Or do you want to try next time, Jock? Oh, I know this with Jockney. He was saying to me last time, no, when I tried to have it live with him the first time, he has a terrible reception of this if it's in the evening. During the day, I asked one, so do you want to set one up for the daytime sometime?
Come on, Jockney, to withdraw a line in the sand, Jockney. But Jockney was quite funny.
You're the only person on here that is like from the government department and being paid through that and all that. Do you think?
Wait a minute. We're just asking the questions, Jockney. Jockney. Can you come on, or are you willing to it? are you willing to come on alive with Humble sometime just to put
Oh, Jock, you get on, man.
the past to
Jockney's naturals as well. So if you trust Jockney, you can send them, man. If you've got personal things, a personal email for them, I trust Jockney not to put them out there.
Listen,
no, I'm waiting for him to reply. I know that he was saying that because we had to stop the live last time because it was so bad on his side. He couldn't hear what was being said. He was in the Barbican, I think. But is Jockney gone? I'll ask him. I'll get onto Instagram and ask him, Job.
Okay.
I'll ask him. But anyway, I'm going to start winding up. 2 hours. You've been honoured. You've been honoured 2 hours. I never go on that long. It's only naughty people like Exposure TV go on that long. Naughty people.
I'd just like to say one wee thing. One of my friends who went through basically the big cancer tumour is younger than me, and I've just got news there tonight that's him home after weeks in ventilator. He's home and he's just sent me a picture of him clapping his dog, and I'm getting a wee lump in my throat there. That's nice to see. I'd lost hope for him for a while, but I kept the faith. You sent yourself out. That's my boy. You sent yourself out. That's my boy.
And you just reminded me as well. People had said this at the beginning of the show. You'll see a scroll up and you'll see it. Oh, do you know what? I tell you now, I'm laughing. Oh, right. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see a banner going along. Now it says Lauren Harries, and it's got my email. That's there because if anyone, Lauren Harries, to just say quickly again, a wonderful person. She has gone through an amazing life, bullied all her life from a child. For people who don't know, she started off life as a boy, and at 10 years old, she was on the Wogan show and was proclaimed to be antiques prodigy. She could value antiques. Went on the Oprah Winfrey show, Everton. Then she had reassignment surgery. Now she's Lauren Harries. Well, Lauren recently, when she was on my show, I interviewed her late last year, and she was ill then. But recently it got really bad, and she's got some mysterious, horrible thing going on in her brain, and she's in hospital. They've just moved to another hospital because they can't work out what's going. So I'm going to be sending a bouquet of flowers to her mama to take into a hospital because I won't be allowed in the hospital because she really is ill. Now, if anyone wants to send a message of support or love to Lauren, please do so. And if you don't know who she is, you'll see it on my channel on Harry's.
I put a wee buy my coffee link up on, and somebody can maybe chip in a couple of
I think I will do because I'm going to order the flowers tomorrow and get them off to her. But I want to send all these wonderful messages of joy because she's a real survivor. She suffered horrendous bullying as a child, and how she ever got through it, don't know. And when she had her reassignment surgery, more horrific bullying. And yet, guess what? No one ever has knocked her down, except this now has got her. Yeah. Where, so please, if anyone wants to send, I ask you all, please send a message of support to my email address. And then I'll get that done. And Jockney's just turned around and said, Humble, I've got Margaret, old school French detective. So that's what he's doing, but another time on. So we'll sort that out, John.
No problem,
we'll sort it out. And anyway, having a laugh. Sorry
for Humble, and thank you very much.
That's
thank you.
So come on again, I say. Come on again.
Thank you.
This is having a laugh. I
swear I didn't mean to disrespect your rules.
No, having a laugh. Just let's tell you this, right? I don't mind shouting at you. I actually quite like telling people. It's nice. So, anyway, so feel free to come on again. Feel free to come on again, and but you know what will happen. I'll be
and live the dream, babies. I love you all right?
And take care, everyone.
Okay, Julius, Big Billy, Big Billy, Julius, all the Kelsey, everybody else I've missed. Take care. Have a good night. God bless everybody.
And thank you all, my moderators.
BP, the most handsome man on YouTube. See you later, mate.
Anyway, take care. Bye-bye now, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.